VNTANA is meant to manage millions of assets at scale, so we allow you to perform bulk operations on all of your assets. Here I'm going to select a few different assets. And so I've got some images, some 3D models, and a material file. You'll see that when I select multiple assets, this bulk actions bar will appear at the top. The first button allows me to delete these assets if I'd like to delete them from my workspace, or I can click on the pencil and edit the assets. The first thing you'll see under asset details is the optimization settings. These only apply to the 3D models of the 5 assets that I've selected here. So I can change the pipeline. So let's say I accidentally ran them on a Clo pipeline and they should have been on a browser pipeline. Or I can change the optimization settings. So let's say I wanted to increase the max resolution to 4K, for instance. I want to make sure I click this check mark because that will save these changes and make sure that they're propagated when I close out this window. If you don't click this checkbox, nothing will happen. When I come down here, I see this asset search details. This will actually apply to all the different types of assets here. So if I wanted to say these were all part of my fall collection, for instance, I can add that tag right here and that will apply to each different asset type. Finally, I can edit my 3D viewer. So right now I'm selected on a GIF, which is obviously not a 3D model, so I won't see anything here. If I select a 3D asset, the asset will appear, and then I'll also see all the same settings that I would see on the product detail page of the viewer. For instance, if I wanted to change the lighting environment to default, I would select that, click the checkbox, and then I can simply click submit. And so now all of these changes will be reflected in these different assets. I also have the ability to download these assets. So here I can download the original file if I want to do that. And you see these other files are grayed out because these assets are in draft. When a file is in draft mode, that means you're not able to download it from the platform. You can only access the original file. However, if I select this and this, which is in live public, and come here, now I have options to download other asset types. So GLB, the optimized GLB, USDZ, and FBX file. I can also share these assets. So this is a new feature that is very cool. You'll see this public link here. If I copy that and I paste it, it'll actually take me to an external page that will show all of the live assets that were selected. So if you had 20 assets selected, but only 2 are live, it's only going to show these 2. And here it'll be the public embed link, which you can use anywhere, as well as the optimized files and the thumbnail images. And you can see right here, we've got that sign up button. This can actually be shared with anyone. It doesn't need to be someone within your organization. It can be someone outside of your organization. So it's a really, really easy way to share a bunch of information with someone outside of your organization. I can also invite users right from here to edit these assets, and they'll immediately be granted permissions to edit or view the asset. So let's say we're going to invite tests@test.com. If I want to add more users, I just need to click this add button again, and then you'll see that drop down will appear. I'm going to click invite, and I will have them as view, and they'll receive an invitation to the platform. Next up here, you're able to change the states of the asset. So we've got live public, live internal, and draft. I'll go over states in a different video. And finally, you can link it to different projects. So you can create a new project directly from here, or you can see a list of your existing projects and you're able to link these files to these existing projects. You can even link it directly within the subfolders if you want to. And then you'd simply click save. Finally, we've got a few other options. I can add these to a variant group. I can move them to a different workspace if I want to. I can reconvert them if there was an issue. If I want to reconvert the asset, so let's say optimize it again, but I want to set it to a live internal state, I can do that. Same with public. And then finally, I can clone the assets. So I can clone the assets to a different workspace if I'd like to, which is super cool. So let's say I wanted to move it to industrial products. And I click continue, and it's actually just going to drop a copy in there right away. They don't need to reprocess it. It'll just appear as a duplicate asset in that new workspace. So that's bulk actions. Finally, when you're on this page, you can actually view things in a grid view. So this is a nice, more visual layout if you want to see different asset types. The grid view is a great way to do that.